I'm Kevin McDowell.
And I'm Joan Steffen. Coming up on News 11, crews clean up a hazardous spill tonight after a train derailment in northern Anoka County.
An early morning blaze claims the life of one man, but a hero rescues other residents of a burning house.
Protesters try to block the Minnesota National Guard tonight, all in the name of peace.
And the airways are heating up as the hype continues.
Paul and Diana are off. News 11 is next.
Starting this Sunday, you can get hundreds of products you need during the Target Dollar Sale. So look in your Sunday paper for the Target Circular. It's America's shopping list.
Why make life more risky than it already is? Hi, I'm Paul Douglas. Your risk of heart disease is much greater if you have high blood pressure. Certain lifestyle factors such as being overweight, excessive use of alcohol, diets high in sodium, and the natural aging process can contribute to high blood pressure. Have your blood pressure checked regularly. Your life could depend on it. The Heart Association needs your help. Please give from your heart. Call 593-9211.
You want to drive to the sun with the most features under the sun, but you don't want to pay a price that will burn you in the end. Hey, if it's important to you, it's important to Plymouth.
Oh, wow.
It's the new Plymouth Sundance with 47 standard features, prices starting at $83.95. Best value in its class and backed by $770 protection. The Plymouth Sundance proves, yet again, the 9 most important words Plymouth knows. Satisfy the customer. Satisfy the customer. Satisfy the customer.
Now, the Twin Cities' most watched newscast, News 11. With Paul Majors, Diana Pierce, Tom Reiter on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Good evening. Paul and Diana have the night off. Topic tonight's News 11. South St. Paul police are searching for suspects right now after a double shooting tonight.
The shootings happened about 7:30 and sent 2 young men to the hospital. News 11's Mary Beth Lamb is at the scene. She joins us now with the latest. Mary Beth?
Kevin, Joan, 3 men came to a house here in South St. Paul, here right behind me, near 19th and Bromley earlier this evening. Police authorities believe to collect a debt. They tried to knock several times. When they got no response, they kicked the door down, upon which the occupant of the house fired off several rounds, injuring 2 of those 3 men. 2 of those men are now in the hospital, 1 believed to be in surgery, both believed to be in satisfactory condition. The police SWAT team, called the Mutual Aid Action Team, has surrounded the house of that occupant who fired off the rounds and evacuated at least 6 of the surrounding houses. They are believed to be waiting for the occupant of that house, believed to be a 26-year-old white male, to come out of the house. If not, force is an option. We will stay here and let you know what happens. Now back to you.
Mary Beth, now, were any policemen injured in this?
We have no more new information at this time. They are still looking for that white male. He may be somewhere else. And we don't know exactly what the scene will be. The police SWAT team has surrounded all the houses. No one can get through here. It is completely cut off. And we are hoping that we can get some new information to you as soon as possible.
Okay.
The 3rd man is not injured.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary Beth.
Well, the cleanup of hazardous chemicals dumped earlier today after a train derailment in Anoka County is complete tonight.
Officials are blaming equipment failure for the accident. They say an axle wore through, causing 1 car to leave the tracks and causing a chain reaction.
The derailment happened at about 10 this morning in rural Anoka County. The Burlington Northern train was traveling from Superior, Wisconsin to the Twin Cities when it derailed near 221st Avenue in northern Anoka County. From the air, you can see the damage. 16 cars jumped the track. 2 of those cars were carrying toxic chemicals. It was the 2 chemical cars that posed the most danger, leaking acetic anhydride and methyl alcohol. But at around 3 this afternoon, crews began pumping out the chemicals from the tankers. A hole in the alcohol car may have leaked 7,000 gallons onto the ground, but officials say the damage was minimized by the cold. Shortly after the derailment, firefighters went door to door asking that people in 25 homes around that area be evacuated. None of the residents was injured, but one firefighter, 52-year-old Arthur Bendeski, was treated for exhaustion later today and then released. And as of this hour, all of the residents, except for one family, have returned to their homes. The reason that the one family has not returned is because their home is closest to the accident. Joan?
The chemicals involved come in two very familiar forms. The acetic anhydride in a diluted form is much like vinegar, but in high concentrations it can burn the nose, throat, and skin. The other chemical, methyl alcohol, is commonly found in windshield washer fluid. It's very flammable and can cause headaches and other illnesses. If swallowed, it can cause blindness. The cleanup of those chemicals has just been completed within the last hour, and as News 11's Gail Plawacki reports, dozens of emergency workers have been hard at work all day.
The response to the emergency was immediate and impressive. Firefighters, police, and paramedics flooded the area swiftly after learning that dangerous chemicals may have been contained in two tanker cars that began to leak shortly after the derailment. 16 cars in all left the track, but the focus of concern was on the tankers. Pollution Control Agency officials were called to the scene to assess the seriousness of the spill, but later in the day said it wasn't as bad as it could have been thanks to Minnesota's weather.
There are some advantages when these types of incidents occur in the wintertime, that you often have frozen ground in Minnesota, which prevents a lot of liquids from moving down through the soils and entering groundwater.
Tonight, Burlington Northern officials say that only about 300 gallons of the methanol actually leaked out of the car. But the work went on well after dark, removing all chemicals from the tankers. Heavy equipment was used to carefully move undamaged cars to avoid further leakage problems. Although residents were allowed back in their homes, police continued to keep spectators away from the brightly lit work area where some hazardous substances remained. All of the dangerous chemicals have been drained from the tanker cars at this point, but Burlington Northern workers will be here through the night cleaning up the derailment. In Oak Grove Township, Gail Plawacki, News 11.
Burlington Northern officials say it will cost more than $250,000 to clean up the chemical spill and the derailed cars.
A fire that apparently started in the kitchen of a New Germany apartment building has killed the man that lived there. Flames were shooting out of the apartment complex by the time fire crews arrived at 2:30 this morning. 9 of the building's 10 occupants did manage to escape, but Chuck Keckler tried to rescue 57-year-old Gordy Stender. It was too late.
Then I went up to that apartment, busted in the door, and I couldn't get in any closer.
What was it?
It put flames and smoke in there. And I hollered in there, and I didn't get no answer or nothing.
The fire marshal says something had been cooking or left cooking on Stender's stove, and that set off the fire. A violent night on 15th Avenue South in Minneapolis sent 5 people to the hospital. 2 of the men rushed to the hospital remain in the hospital tonight for stab wounds. 27-year-old Steve Grovier is in satisfactory condition, while 34-year-old David Miller is in serious condition. Police say the 2 men were stabbed after an argument and fight broke out among a group of men.
A peaceful protest at the Twin Cities National Guard base failed to change a state policy. Earlier today, demonstrators dumped a pile of snow in front of the gates to protest the Air National Guard going to Central America for maneuvers. The head of the Guard says he respects the protesters' rights.
They follow the local and state laws, we have no concern with that. That's their right to protest.
Several C-130 transport planes will take more than 50 Minnesota Guardsmen to Panama tomorrow for a 2-week tour of duty. With a new year comes some new state laws starting Sunday. They include new rules for the immunization of kids 7 years or older. These youngsters must have shots for mumps. Children under 7 must have 5 DPT shots and the polio vaccine. Also, HMOs will receive a Bill of Rights outlining the services covered in each program. And finally, the minimum wage goes up to $3.85 an hour for adults, $3.47 for minors.
There's less than 48 hours until the big event of the weekend, the Vikings 49ers game for the right to play in the NFC Championship.
Melissa Young is in San Francisco, and she joins us now from Pat O'Shea's Mad Hatter. Melissa?
Well, that's right, Joan and Kevin, and indeed at Pat O'Shea's they have a bet, actually, with Patrick McGovern. Patrick McGovern, of course, is in St. Paul, and there they have a bet on the game. The bet is 1 keg of Anchor Steam Beer versus 1 keg of Schmidt Beer, and the loser, of course, has to pay. At any rate, being a Vikings fan here can be a dangerous proposition. I wouldn't exactly say that the atmosphere is hostile, but it is a bit like being a stranger in a strange land.
It can be a strange and foreboding place for an outsider. Ominous skies, steep hills, and piles of creatures that wouldn't think of calling the Mississippi River home.
Easy money, easy money. Take the 49ers, 6 points, 6 points.
It's enough to make a Viking fan want to hide your true purple colors. But not everyone here looks at the Minnesota fans as enemies.
I try to be nice to them.
Tony Cresci has tried to make everyone feel welcome on Fisherman's Wharf for decades, and he's got some company.
Grab a soup cocktail. Another one?
Craig Nelson is a native of the Bay, but these days he's cheering on both the Vikings and Viking fans.
I see him walk by here all the time, yeah, kill the Niners. As they walk in, you go, yeah, right on. You know, it's a shock because, you know, I'm in San Francisco, but I don't like them that much. I really never did, really. I like the Vikings.
Even the local media turned friendly. Frank Dill of KNBR Radio rolled out the welcome mat for us today. But you gotta watch these guys. Just when you think you're in friendly territory, they go and sting you.
You folks in Minnesota ought to know this. We've got a secret weapon. We know how to beat the Vikings. Sunday afternoon, all of us, and the 49er team are going to show up wearing Green Bay Packer uniforms. Now, you know that works.
I thought that was rather cruel to bring that up again, but I guess you can't fight the facts. At any rate, 49ers fans are fired up, and some Viking fans are slowly trickling into the city. And I tell you, this may be dangerous, but I don't care. You got to show your purple pride where you can. Go Vikings. We're going to cheer them on to victory at Candlestick Park on Sunday. We'll throw it back to you now, Kevin and Joan.
Okay, let's hope we see her again after that.
Good idea. Green Bay Packer.
Thanks, Mel. Yeah, there's a lot more to come tonight on News 11. Paul Douglas will take a look back at the weird weather of the past year.
Also ahead, we'll continue our Vikings playoff coverage with reports from both the Vikings and 49ers practices today.
A special day for Honeywell's most senior employee as he leaves his office for the last time.
And we'll recap the top local stories of 1988 later on the Extras.
One big week of Chevy car saving with discounts so high they cut through steel. The Heartland Chevy dealer in your hometown. We're the year-end red-hot savings spot on best-selling Chevrolets. Factory savings up to $2,400. Camaro, Beretta, Corsica, Celebrity, Cavalier, Capri. Huge one-time only year-end discount. This one big week at the Heartland Chevy dealer in your hometown. Cutting red-hot deals like only Chevrolet can.
If what you see is what you get, then we'd like to improve your view. Heilemann Special Export.
Come home to the best, only on KARE-TV.
Home is where you'll find us. We're with you night and day. With everything that binds us, we're here to show the way. No one does it better. No one gives you more. The Huxtables all make you scream. This is all part of the stream of what you're looking for.
KARE-TV, St. John's Square's the place to be. Your minds will flow to rest, only on KARE-TV. HTC, come join the family. Come home to the best, come home to the best, come home to the best, only on KARE-TV.
Disney Fever covers the globe.
Disney Fever Sunday night. When you wish upon a star. Disney Fever, there you are.
Catch the fever, the magical world of Disney, Sundays on NBC.
Kind of day weathermen dream about, and we have one out in the backyard dreaming. Are you out there dreaming?
No, in fairness and honesty, Joan, I dreamed, you know, sunshine, 70 degrees, hot sand squirming under my feet.
How about this? With January staring in the eye, this is the kind of weather weathermen dream about.
You're right. Okay. With that preface, you're absolutely right. Everything is relative, right? It was a nice day, 27 degrees officially in the Twin Cities. The weather pattern has crystallized a little bit for the holiday weekend. If you're traveling, do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, the better day for travel. Temperatures once again may top 30. Tomorrow night into Sunday, a potential for a nuisance snowfall, maybe a couple of inches of light powdery snow as another Arctic front plows into the state. 1988 is going to be a year weather-wise that will be hard to forget. We had a little of everything. Mud showers at one point during the month of July. Obviously a horrible year for agriculture, barge traffic. We had a lot of grass fires in the state, burning more acres than had ever been burned in the past. The Yellowstone fires actually produced smoke that blotted out the sun and made for some very red sunsets. Now, the drought this past summer was most severe from the Twin Cities in central Minnesota westward to the Dakota border, bringing back some grim memories of the Dust Bowl days of the 1930s. And unfortunately, sights like this were very, very rare during the summer of '88. Now, there was one pleasant side effect of the drought. A lack of moisture produced a lack of severe thunderstorms. Only 1 to 2 tornadoes statewide all year. That's very rare. Usually we have about 18. Here's a brief recap. The hottest June, July, and August since 1981. We still have boasting rights for the nation. For the year, though, it was only 2 degrees warmer than average. October was unusually chilly. So was January. Normal precip 26.4. We only had 19 inches, 7 inches shy of normal. That's why we're rooting on the snowstorms. Tonight's winning weather spy, a real pretty shot. Some contrails produced by jet aircraft, thanks to Tim Gales of Plymouth. Those cirrus clouds can keep us a couple of degrees warmer at night, a couple of degrees cooler during the day. Man-made. 27 the high today, above normal for a change, a low of 7. Right now in the backyard, clear and 14 with a northwest breeze. The wind chill 7, the humidity high, and the barometer on the rise. From outer space, you can see the storm now pounding the west coast. 1 to 2 foot snow, 60-mile-an-hour winds in Montana. It's going to be wet. 49ers game Sunday, I'd say 40 degrees, gusty winds, couple of showers. Looks like the field is going to be wet. It's pouring right now in San Francisco. These clouds leaking a little very light snow in northern Minnesota. We expect most of the snow to stay way to our north until Sunday. Here's the latest weather map, and you can see the storm we're watching. As this storm ripples eastward, it is going to produce some accumulating snow, but not until late Saturday night into Sunday, when we could get a couple of inches of snow. 7 below now in Grand Forks, 32 degrees in Des Moines, the hot spot at this hour. And again, if you're doing any kind of traveling over the holiday weekend, no problems tomorrow from the cities on south. Mild sun, maybe a coating of snow up in the Red River Valley. The holiday weekend forecast is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Rolanda Taylor. Everyone should know the warning signs of stroke. Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, and leg on one side of the body. Loss of speech or trouble talking or understanding speech. Dimness or loss of vision, particularly in one eye. Unexplained dizziness, unsteadiness, or sudden falls. The Heart Association needs your help in getting this message out. Please give from your heart right now. Call 593-9211.
Reason number 19 to see your Nissan dealer before January 4th. The Nissan no money down first-time buyer plan makes it a snap to get into a new hard body truck. The Goodbye 88 celebration. See your Nissan dealer now. Reason number 3 to see your Nissan dealer before January 4th. Dealer cash incentives up to $3,000 can put you in a new Nissan in a hurry. The Goodbye 88 celebration. See your Nissan dealer now.
My place is famous for fresh seafood, thanks. So when Louis Kemp walked in here and told me his crab delights are better than crab, it sounded like a fish story to me. But once I tried them, I was hooked. Louis was right. Crab delights have the delicious taste of crab, but they're better because they're made from steam-baked Alaskan whitefish, so they're lower in fat and cholesterol. The great taste of crab. But crab delights cost a lot less.
Crab delights from Louis Kemp. They're better than crab.
Louis Kemp made a believer out of me.
The year of the uniform will make you feel like a North Star. Be one of the first 3,000 fans, 16 and under, to attend 4 special North Star games and get this entire uniform free. Get a piece of the uniform and part of the action with the Minnesota North Stars.
January 14th is free jersey night when the North Stars face Calgary, sponsored by Super America. All youth tickets are half price, starting as low as $7. Call 853-9300 to order tickets.
The last day of 1988 is going to be a wet one over the southeast. Let's check the forecast map for tomorrow. Heavy rain over the southeast, some snow for the Rockies, rain for San Francisco. It's going to be a wet field, I think. Forecast tonight, watch out for some fog. The humidities are high, winds are light, skies are clear, 8 to 12 by morning. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, light snow way north. It will be mild, a high of 26 to 31. Snow Sunday, maybe 1 to 3 inches as that cold front comes in, 22 and then falling into the teens. Only 16 Monday and 17 Tuesday for highs. And incidentally, Kevin and Joan, the odds of another drought in '89 like the one we had in '88, somewhere between 1 in 100 and 1 in 1,000. I guess I'm cautiously optimistic and hope the farmers obviously hang in there. I have a good feeling about next year. I think we'll be back closer to normal rainfall-wise.
Good. Those are comforting statistics.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Still to come on News 11, after more than 50 years on the job, Honeywell's most senior employee calls it quits today.
And here's a birthday wish for a former monkey.
Take the last train across and I'll meet you at the station.
One big week of Chevy truck saving with discounts so high they cut through steel. The Heartland Chevy dealer in your hometown. We're the year-end red-hot savings spot on best-selling Chevrolets. Factory savings up to $2,400. Brand new S10s, Blazers, the all-new full-size pickup. Huge one-time only year-end discount. This one big week at the Heartland Chevy dealer in your hometown. Cutting red-hot deals like only Chevrolet can.
Why make your life more risky than it already is? Hi, I'm Steve Carroll. You can reduce your risk of heart disease by monitoring your blood cholesterol level and taking steps to lower it if necessary. Cutting back on foods high in saturated fats is a good start. Have your blood cholesterol level tested periodically. Your life could depend upon it. The Heart Association needs your help. Please give generously from your heart. Call 593-9211.
By morning's first light, I see mallards in free flight, just like they've always been for years.
They've been there because we've been there. Ducks Unlimited, serving wetlands for more than 50 years.
Folks across Minnesota are getting ready to ring in the new year tomorrow night. At one Twin Cities party shop, there are plenty of party favor bargains just waiting for a New Year's Eve party. If you're still without your party hats, napkins, and confetti, there's still about 24 hours left in the year to stock up. Champagne sales are starting to pick up for tomorrow's celebrations. Now, when choosing a bottle of champagne, it helps to check the grade. Experts say a low-grade or bulk process will be a little harder on your body, while a high-grade bubbly will likely leave you feeling a little better on New Year's Day.
It was a fond farewell for a long-time Honeywell employee today. He ended a career that started more than a half a century ago. And as News 11's Gil Amundsen reports, it was a happy farewell.
There's a lot of that today at the new Brighton plant. You make a lot of friends over 52 years. Donald Sachs was 15 years old when he got a part-time job at Honeywell and was paid 30 cents an hour. He says they worked hard in those days but had fun and met a lot of fun people, including one Bill Portland.
That guy, he's worked a metal finish, and at the end of the day, he'd do backflips all the way to the time clock.
Don got letters from Honeywell officials today wishing happy retirement. There was coffee and cake and a scale model of the red scooter he rode through the plant in his job as factory supervisor. But most of all, smiles, handshakes, and warm wishes from friends he made over the years. They were years that saw changes.
Oh, a lot of them. A lot of them. Some to the good, some to the bad. But I mean, as a whole, it's been real nice. If I had to live it over, I think I'd do the same thing.
And that, the ultimate testimonial. Happy retirement, Don. Gil Amundsen, New Brighton.
The 19,000 Honeywell workers in the Twin Cities, Don was the most senior of all the employees. Well, the North Stars head for the ice in St. Louis tonight, trying to slide some trouble to the Blues.
And we'll go west, where the Vikings are preparing for the assault against the 49ers in San Francisco. We'll have reports from both cities when we come back.
Kids, I had to keep my whole family in mind when I bought a new car, but I'm also a businessman. So my Ford dealer gave me the answer. Taurus. Comfort, room, and unique styling. It's just what I was looking for.
Your family's like mine. We need room for the kids, and my husband needs a stylish car for business. Taurus is an excellent choice. Plus, if you buy now, I can really save you a lot.
My Ford dealer helped me choose a car that had my whole family in mind. Well, almost. Taurus. From quality people with quality products.
This is Lloyd Mokler's office. 6,000 acres of pure western terrain. He's an expert at managing his business on the open field And in the investment field, Lloyd Moakler buys U.S. savings bonds. 30 million Americans stay on top of their future this way. Bonds pay competitive rates, and that's important, whether your home's in some big city or on the range. U.S. savings bonds, the great American investment. Find out more. Call 1-800-US-BONDS.
Hey kids, wintry mornings with lots of snow means that your school might close for the day. That's when you should turn to Snowbird Alert on News 11 Sunrise Show. Meteorologist Sonny House will tell you if your school is closing or starting late due to the winter storms. Your school can be part of News 11's Snowbird Alert. Tell your principal to give News 11 a call for details. And on those blustery, snowy mornings, be sure to turn to Snowbird Alert on News 11 Sunrise.
Every winter in Minnesota, the number of eligibles increases by the thousands. You can become eligible this winter, too. All you have to do is get a St. Paul Winter Carnival button. Just owning one makes you eligible to win 2 round-trip tickets to London or $25,000 in gold coins. So get your button and become one of Minnesota's most eligible people. Without it, you haven't got a prayer.
Buttons available at Holiday Station Stores, Super America, 7-Eleven, and Tom Thumb. Airfare provided by TWA.
The Vikings' biggest fans left for San Francisco today to help cheer the team on in their march to Super Bowl 23 in Miami next month. The wives of the players boarded a jet at Twin Cities International this evening for the trip to San Francisco. And, by the way, just a reminder, as we continue our playoff coverage, and Tommy, you probably want to join me in this, we want you to know that TV 11 is
your Super Bowl station. It is. It is. And come Super Bowl day, we want the Vikings out there.
You bet.
That would put the icing on the cake. Injured linebacker Jesse Solomon worked out with the Vikings in Tucson today, but come Sunday, he will be watching the divisional playoff from the sideline. Jeff Passold has more and the first of a team report on preparations for that Vikings 49er rematch.
They have worked toward it all season long. A chance at the Super Bowl. And for number 54, linebacker Jesse Solomon, the dream season seemed on track until a knee injury forced him to the sidelines. And now it looks like that is where he'll stay.
I practiced fully Wednesday, and I kind of aggravated a little bit. And so we got together, the coaches, and decided to let me rest my leg. But physically, I'm going to lay low and relax and give my knee a break.
And even though it looks like Jesse Solomon's injury is going to keep him out of the lineup for Sunday's game, he's determined to prove something else. It won't keep him off the football field.
Jesse Solomon want to be on the field regardless. You know, he don't work hard. A guy possibly could do, you know, to get to this point, to help the team to this point, and also now they're not really playing. It's very disappointing and frustration for me because I want to get a chance to show the people of America that he can play some good football.
The Vikings will hold one more workout tomorrow before heading to San Francisco. And now for the latest from the 49ers camp, we go to Randy Shaver in California.
We want you, Minnesota. You're the greatest of all time. Of all time.
The 49ers want this playoff game Sunday to hurry up and get here. After 2 weeks of practice, they're restless, ready to jump into action against the Vikings. Today, nothing but smiles as they wrapped up their final on-the-field preparations for Sunday's game.
Are you guys loose? How would you characterize the team?
Well, we're loose, but our team is always loose. But we have a lot more respect for Minnesota than we did last year.
Hopefully, they'll think that we'll be in the same situation like we were last year, and they'll come in a little overconfident. That's what I'm hoping, but who knows?
This was a nostalgic day for Coach Bill Walsh. The man next to him is Irving Hurd. Mr. Hurd gave Walsh his first coaching job back in 1957 at Washington Union High School in Fremont. Walsh turned that losing program around in 2 years. He's hoping to change the 49ers' recent losing playoff ways around on Sunday, and he knows where it all starts.
We're expecting that Joe Montana will play the entire game. He's one of the great quarterbacks of all time, and I think he'll have a great performance.
The 49ers will hold only team meetings tomorrow, no practice, and then they'll head to San Francisco for the meeting they've been waiting a year for, the Vikings on Sunday. Reporting from the 49ers headquarters in Santa Clara, California, Randy Shaver, News 11 Sports. It is the Barry Sanders Show in college football tonight. The Heisman Trophy winner scored 5 touchdowns so far at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. Oklahoma State leading Wyoming in the fourth quarter, 55-14. Let's go to some hockey now. North Stars at St. Louis. First period, Neil Broughton watched the passer to Kurt Giles, and he will get a shorthanded goal. Great pass by Broughton, 1-0 Minnesota. Later in the first period, 3-0 Stars when Mark Habscheid will score on a breakaway. Watch this now.
He'll go off to the left side, a beauty. Fake left, went down the middle, got the shorthanded goal, 4-0 North Stars, and that was all for the Blues goalie Greg Millen. Let's check the score now. It is 4-3 in the third. Hartford over Detroit. That's the final. Washington over Buffalo. Gopher hockey tonight. They are tied 1-1 in the third. They're playing Denver. The next game they'll play Maine January 6th. In that Denver game, the Pioneers opened the scoring on a power play. Ed Christoffoli with a slap shot past Jeff Stalt made it 1-0 Denver. The Gophers tied the game moments later. Jason Miller will get the unassisted power play goal. The score right now is 1-1 as we watch action. The game is in the third period again. It is 1-1. Believe it or not, there will be a goal. There it is. At Williams Arena tonight, the Gopher basketball team had an easy time against Denver University. Kevin Lynch jammed right there, made it 17-0. Lynch with 12. Melvin Newbern with that shot right there at 15 points in the night. Listen to this. The Gophers had scored 34 points before Denver had even scored a field goal. That's what you call a cupcake. Check the final score now. Final 99-54. Iowa over Southwest Texas. Wisconsin defeating Eastern Michigan. We have Michigan State leading Oregon. That's in the second half now. Boys High School basketball. Armstrong a winner. Jefferson a winner. St. Paul Academy over Christ Household of Faith. Stillwater over Minneapolis South. And we have Anoka over Woodbury. And then finally have Farmington 48 and Concordia Academy 41 in girls high school basketball. So Christ's Household of Faith, we once had it down as Choff, and I said, what is that? So now we spell it out.
You figured it out.
We spell it out.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you, sir.
Just ahead on the Extra, a look back at the year 1988.
The newsmakers and the top stories of the year when we come right back.
Home for the holidays? Relaxing?
Then get up, get out, and get over to your Jeep Eagle dealer's Get It In Gear holiday sale. Get it in gear now and save on every vehicle in stock. Get special savings on select Jeep Cherokees, cashback deals on Eagle Premiers while supplies last, plus limited time offers on new Eagle Summits. So get it in gear. Look up, America.
See your Great Northern Jeep Eagle dealers, where you can expect the best. What started out as a treasured Christmas gift
I'll bet every kid in America would like to have one of these. Keep him out of the sunlight.
turned into the craziest holiday
Keep him away from water.
the Peltzer family ever experienced.
Don't ever feed him after midnight.
What is it? My past.
Start the new year off with a Steven Spielberg presentation of Gremlins, Sunday, only on NBC.
Bye. Happy New Year. Remember, we want you back next year, too. So drive safely this New Year's Eve.
Pamela Palmer's workdays at the Radisson Hotel in St. Paul begin with the punch of a clock. Then it's on to a flurry of activity that always includes her special touch. And she's never short on smiles. So it's nice to know that every day is now just a little better for Pamela, because when she comes home from work, she can watch News 11 with closed captions. NewsScribe 11 for the deaf and hearing impaired community is funded in part by Pamela's employer, Radisson Hotels International, one of the Carlson companies.
She's your new little sister, Brandon.
No, she isn't.
Coming in January, Family Matters on KARE 11.
Tonight on News 11 Extra, the year 1988 was filled with joy, pain, sorrow, and triumph. So as it comes to an end, we'd like to take another look at the top stories of the year in Minnesota. With some help from Andrea Shane and Rick Bussler, News 11 photographer and editor Mark Ambrose shows us 1988, the year in review.
"1988 was a year we struggled with the elements.
For now, Kevin Chamberlain is hoping for a redeeming rain shower to guarantee his crops can rebound this year.
Tonight, the Twin Cities have become a sort of modern-day ghost town.
The water level is so low that if the drought continues, the pipes might soon suck in air.
It was a year of triumph.
Yep, it was exciting. Exciting enough to bring tears at times.
And tragedy. For some, them, 88 meant violence and destruction.
The parking ramp murders rocked Minneapolis this year. Those were random murders where the suspects stalked the women, attacked, and killed them.
The bodies of David Brom's father, mother, brother, and sister were found in their Rochester home shortly after the murders last February.
Minneapolis detectives went to Albuquerque to question Glaze about the killings. He denied any involvement in the murders. 100 Minneapolis police officers armed with shields, bulletproof vests, and guns stormed an entire city block. The target, 7 separate buildings where police said crack was being sold.
We welcomed new landmarks and said farewell to others.
The Minneapolis skyline has a new multi-million-dollar look these days. The $100 million Norwest Center is almost done.
Other Pillsbury employees, especially many in the executive suite, will almost certainly lose their jobs.
I'm walking out with my head high and looking to the future.
The new men's athletic director at the University of Minnesota, Rick Beck.
Thank you. And I'm informing the Board of Regents this evening that I'm prepared to step aside as president.
University Board of Regents unanimously voted Dr. Nils Hasselmo as the new president of the University of Minnesota.
I want to be remembered as a person whose heart was always in the right place and whose head usually was.
Minneapolis Police Chief Tony Bose's career with the force officially ended today. He has been police chief for the past 9 years and says it's time to call it quits.
1988. Minnesotans will remember it for many different reasons, including the year the largest sturgeon on record was caught. The same year it was stolen. Andrea Shane, News 11.
And with that, we'll say goodnight. Thank you very much for joining us.
See you next year.
Have a good weekend.
One big week of Chevy car saving with discounts so high they cut through steel. The Heartland Chevy dealer in your hometown. We're the year-end red-hot savings spot on best-selling Chevrolets. Factory savings up to $2,400. Camaro, Beretta, Corsica, Celebrity, Cavalier, Capri. Huge one-time only year-end discount. This one big week at the Heartland Chevy dealer in your hometown. Cutting red-hot deals like only Chevrolet can.
The year of the uniform will make you feel like a North Star. Be one of the first 3,000 fans, 16 and under, to attend 4 special North Star games and get this entire uniform free. Get a piece of the uniform and part of the action with the Minnesota North Stars.
January 14th is free jersey night when the North Stars face Calgary, sponsored by Super America. All youth tickets are half price, starting as low as $7. Call 853-9300 to order tickets.
Why make life more risky than it already is? Hi, I'm Jeff Passett. The Heart Association wants you to know that you can reduce your risk of heart disease by giving up smoking. Smoking causes thickening and hardening of the arteries. If the flow of blood through the arteries is blocked, a heart attack or stroke could occur. The Heart Association needs your help to deliver this important message. Please give from your heart right now. Call 593-9211.